What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, the Dallas Wings has officially made their first move of 2025, and that is admitting defeat by waiving 6'6" center Stephanie Soares, the number 4 pick in the 2023 WNBA Draft. Now, guys, if you don't know Stephanie, here's the rundown about her. She is originally from Brazil, and she started her basketball career in the States by playing in the NAIA, where she dominated the competition. She won NAIA Division I Player of the Year twice. Then she decided to transfer to Iowa State for her final college season. And let me tell you guys, at Iowa State, she was a force. She averaged 14.4 points a game, 9.9 rebounds a game, shooting a cool 54% from the field. But after just 13 games, after the Big 12 play was just getting started, tragedy struck.
Bring in the size of Stephanie Soares. Oh no.
I went to shoot a fadeaway jumper, and the landing was just so weird, and I felt the pop, instantly knew that I had torn it again. I kind of stepped on it weird and just sat on the ground and waited for Megan to come by. Megan came, and she kind of started talking to me, and I started crying because I instantly knew I had torn it again.
Stephanie Soares ended up tearing her ACL with no college eligibility left. She had no choice but to enter the 2023 WNBA Draft. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The Wings didn't actually draft Stephanie Soares in 2023. The Washington Mystics did.
With the 4th pick in the 2023 WNBA Draft, the Washington Mystics select Stephanie Soares, Iowa State University.
So if y'all are like, if the Washington Mystics did, why are you making this video? Well, on draft night, the Washington Mystics traded Stephanie to Dallas for the 2024 second-round pick and Atlanta's 2025 first-round pick, which the Wings had acquired previously via a trade. Now, some of y'all may be wondering, why would the Washington Mystics draft a lottery pick, the number 4 pick in the draft, just to trade her? Well, that's a great question. At the time, Stephanie was rehabbing her ACL tear, and she would not be available to play in 2023. And former Mystics GM Mike Thibault, he explained it kind of like this at the time. He said he was basically saying that the Mystics roster was already built, was already close to being set for the season for 2023, and it would have been tough to keep everybody that he liked. Plus, the 2025 draft was shaping up to be a huge draft considering COVID. And he wanted his team to be in the best position to capitalize on that. And basically, that's what they did. So basically, the Mystics played the long game, and it worked out. That trade asset ended up turning into the number 6 pick in the 2025 draft. So pretty good deal for Washington, though not so much for Mike Thibault himself. He actually ended up getting canned a couple months ago. So too bad for him, but great forward thinking by him. And the Washington Mystics are benefiting from that. As they have a lottery pick and they have the number 6 pick in the draft. So kind of cool for them. As for Stephanie Soares, she spent 2023 rehabbing her ACL tear, and she was finally ready to make her WNBA debut in 2024. But by then, the Wings were a very, very, very different team. With a front court packed with size. Of course, you had your power forwards like Natasha Howard and Satu Sabally. At the time, Satu Sabally was hurt to start the season. But I'm not going to talk about the power forwards in this conversation. And this video is about the centers, okay? Not the power forwards who were good and who are both likely going to be gone from Dallas next year because they went out. Anyway, so you had at the center positions, you had Awak Quita, who ended up being suspended. You had Kalani Brown, you had Tierra McCowan, and you had Stephanie Soares herself. So that is 4 players, all 6'6" or taller. Now, as you can imagine, guys, it was kind of tough for Stephanie to find some playing time. And when she did play, well, it was a little bit underwhelming. Her game was too similar to Tierra and Kalani, which is a big post who was slow, not great on defense, and mainly operated at the rim. That's kind of what Kalani, Tierra, and Stephanie all fit. And it just wasn't working out. And guys, Stephanie's stats, it really does tell the story for 2024. She played in just 22 games, averaging 8 minutes a game, 1.1 points a game on 29% shooting, and she nabbed 2.1 rebounds. Now, to be fair to her, She was coming back from an ACL tear, which can take up to 2 years to kind of feel like yourself again. But even with that in mind, the Wings' collection of bigs just didn't work. And it was pretty obvious that it wasn't going to work. But I think this is the first time that Greg Bibbs, the Wings president, is actually admitting true defeat. Up to this point, he's been the one calling all the shots on draft picks and trades. But now with the hiring of Kurt Miller, who stepped in as the GM, it is clear that the Wings front court experiment didn't pan out, wasn't working, and they need to move on. Because here's the reality, guys. WNBA centers have evolved. Look at Jonquil Jones or Stephanie Dolson, or pick another center in the league. Today's centers need to do more than just stand in the paint, grab rebounds, and score in the restricted area. They need range, actual range. They need versatility. They need defensive agility, things that Stephanie has not shown that she can do just yet.
What's up, guys? Editor Quita here, just to let you all know that I am saying that Stephanie has not shown that she can do this yet in the WNBA. However, when she was at Iowa State, she did have some range. She was able to shoot 30% from the three-point line, and she was also a good defender in college, but we have yet to see that in the WNBA. Again, she just came off the ACL tear, so, give her a little bit of grace in that context, but that's basically what I'm trying to say here. All right, back to the regular schedule program. Bye.
And guys, just think about this. If the Wings had never traded for Stephanie, they'd have both the number 1 pick and the number 6 pick in the WNBA draft for 2025. Talk about ouch, man. Talk about ouch, man. Now, guys, here's to hoping that Dallas finally fully decides to pivot from their current center strategy and lands a legitimate center who can be a real 2-level, preferably even 3-level scorer. But let's be real, guys. We have been here before with the Dallas Wings. Anybody remember Charlie Collier? Who remembers her? I'll be doing a video about her if you don't know about her. But honestly, guys, I could really do an entire series about the Dallas Wings and the draft picks they've done, how those have panned out, and the various trades that they've done and how those have panned out. It's been quite a bit of buzz for the Dallas Wings, just like a lot of teams in the WNBA. Now, guys, I'm curious. Are you all interested in me doing a kind of series around that? A series around what's gone wrong and how teams are pivoting, as a result? Let me know. I'm interested if y'all are interested in those videos. Now, as for Stephanie Soares, I'm wishing for her the best. Whether she fights to come back to the WNBA or she chooses a different path in life, I'm hoping for her success in whatever she decides to do. And guys, remember that the WNBA is not for everyone, and it's not everything. There are times where we will see top picks, lottery picks in the WNBA draft just not pan out. And so that's kind of how it is. It's the same in the NBA, though it's way less players in the WNBA, so it feels a little bit more obvious when that type of stuff happens. But yeah, that's the video. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. What do y'all think about the pivot that it seems like Dallas is finally making, where they're like, actually, you know what? Having all these 6'6" players who are not fast and just hang out in the paint is not good for us, right? You had a dynamic, 3-way scorer in Satu Tabli. You had, Natasha Howard, who was a really good 2-way scorer. You had Arike Gumbawale, or you still have Arike Gumbawale. You got Maddie Seegers, who was up and coming, showing a lot of promise. Like you have talent for Dallas, and you had talent of people who wanted to run and move and whatnot. And it always kind of felt like the center position was always holding them back. Now, there were times where, we saw a really good game from Tierra McCowan. There were times where she even shot a 3 or so, right? There were times where we saw good play from Kalani Brown, but it was never as consistent as it needed to be. And looking at the evolution of centers in the WNBA, it just hasn't been as much growth in those players as Greg Bibbs really needed it to. So new coach for the Dallas Wings, new GM, and we're gonna see how this rocks out, because hopefully Dallas has officially learned their lesson and they will think a lot harder before just grabbing someone because they are tall. But this is not like, this is no shade to those players at all. It's just that the game is evolving, and what worked in the WNBA 5, 6, 7 years ago is not working anymore. And so teams got to adjust accordingly, and players have to adjust their game accordingly if they want to stay in the league. So that's the video. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like if you learned something. If you've never heard of Stephanie Soares, let me know in the chat. I really do hope to introduce you all to people that you all have not known. Like, there's a lot of people in the WNBA that y'all may never have heard of. And I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the strategies. I want to talk about the inside baseball of what's happening in some of these teams. So yeah, let me know if y'all want more of that. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.